What's up, guys? Welcome back to Goshen's Games. Today we have a special guest, my cousin. You've heard me introduce his channel a couple times. He does the banners for me and thumbnails. Welcome to Ronnie from News to Astonish.
How you doing, guys?
Today we are going to just have like an open topic forum. We're going to talk about different things, anime and games, and maybe just some random crap. We just did a video on his channel for comic stuff. It's actually a long video.
Yeah, we'll have a link in the description.
Yeah, it was a fun video, fun to do. We got into a lot of stuff there. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about different things here on my channel. So as he said, we'll put the link in the description below so you guys can check that out. And so let's kick it off since you have your manga there if you want to bring it up here.
Death Note.
We'll start it off with Death Note.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, definitely. So, as you guys may know, Netflix announced and premiered the trailer for the live-action Death Note film, and it was met with mixed criticism and an abundance of dislikes.
Yeah, the biggest thing was like the whole whitewashing thing, and you know, I don't have a problem with that, you know, because they're Americanizing it. It's fine, you know. You don't need to go and start bashing people saying that they're whitewashing stuff, when that's not really the case. They're making it Americanized. They're not filming it in Japan.
It's a very derogatory term, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, you know, that's the same thing with like, and I hate Dragon Ball Evolution. I really do.
that movie's garbage.
It really is. The whole problem with Dragon Ball Evolution compared to Death Note, right? They didn't bother to change the names in Dragon Ball Evolution, and I could see why they didn't, because the names of the characters are iconic.
Exactly.
Where in Death Note, they're iconic, but they're not so iconic that you need to keep the last names, right? So changing his last name to Light Turner, I don't have a problem with that.
It makes if you think about it, it makes the entire story. This adaptation makes it an entirely different kind of movie, show, whatever you want to call it. These are totally, entirely different characters, loosely based on the phenomenon property, you know,
Right.
property. So technically, it's just an adaptation. It's not taking exactly these characters. They're not Japanese, obviously.
Right.
And there are new characters that are introduced, and there's also characters with the names that have been altered. You know, like Misa is now Mia Sutton.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. So the whole whitewashing thing, to me, cut it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. There's other things you can talk about than whitewashing on Death Note. All right. The biggest issue that I have here with the Death Note movie is the fact that it's a movie.
Be better as a series.
I would have preferred it to be a series.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 10-episode series. You could do the entire series. You do 10-episode series, and each episode an hour long.
Yeah.
Right there, you could do the whole thing. So episode 1 through 5 is the whole thing with Light and L, and then episode 6 through 10 you do with L's disciples. Right there, you have the story. You know, rushing it into one movie, that's the problem I have.
Exactly, and it's not gonna fit. It won't be cohesive. You know, because a lot of time is taken, especially into the investigation with L and the rest of the team, and what they're gonna do an investigation for like a total of 30 minutes, even though during movie time it's supposed to have been a span of like weeks or months.
Yeah, I mean, unless
it's not believable.
Unless they're doing multiple movies, which they haven't even announced if they are or not.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, then I can be okay with it. Maybe doing three movies.
Yeah.
You know, 3 movies would be a good enough time. 2 hours a movie would be plenty to tell the story.
Seeing if the first one is successful.
Yeah, and you know, again, it's just one of those things that you have to go into it with an open mind. You really do. It's an adaptation, like you said. You take a story. It's taking a comic book and turning it into a story or into a movie. You know, they've done that so many times now, and they've gotten better at it. And this is Netflix. You know, Netflix has a good reputation with making movies and shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't bash on it until it comes out.
Exactly.
You know, it is hard to take it into consideration and all these things, the changes and everything that is in the book or in the comic or manga or whatever you want to call it compared to this movie coming out.
One thing I want to point out is that the setting should not have any impact on the story whatsoever. Given if you're given a good story in the film, that's all that matters. Where it takes place, what race, descent, whatever, that shouldn't have any impact whatsoever.
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, Light works, or he goes and works for the detective, or as a detective,
Yeah.
amongst the police force. So, what country doesn't have a police force? In one fashion or another.
Yeah.
They could have done this in Africa,
Yeah.
and same similar story, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
I support Death Note regardless of what it is, because I love the manga and the movies and TV shows that they have. I haven't seen the musical and I probably won't even watch it. It is a musical. But if you're not okay with this, and when the movie comes out and you watch it and you're not okay with it, you have the manga and the anime to look forward to, and watch that instead.
Yeah, I think I've seen the anime like 4 or 5 times.
I actually just finished a binge of the anime.
I mean, the anime is probably one of my favorite animes. And just
I've seen it like 5 times now.
yeah, the story in it is just awesome. The writing was fantastic.
And that's on something new,
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I like Nier's story. I mean, it was different than
I have a mixed opinion about that, actually.
What's that?
I have a different opinion about Nier.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It is what it is. I mean, he's Light's successor, and the whole thing with Nier was the fact that he had to team up with, was it Mello? Mello's name, right? Mello.
He didn't really team up with Mel, didn't like Nier.
No, they didn't like each other. They didn't get along, but they had to work together in order to bring down Light.
But my problem with Nier is that he's just too perfect. He was pulling out these assumptions and everything out of nowhere.
Well, I think
He was just too good.
Well, I think
that's what bothers me.
when you look into it, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he was looking at L's work.
Behind the scenes?
He was following L's work, not really behind the scenes, but when he took over the case from L.
Right.
When he took over the case from L, he looked at what L was doing, and then he thought, okay, well, this wasn't correct what L was doing, but he was on the right path. So let me see what L might have missed.
Right.
And I think that's where Nier got all, where he was able to deduce that it was Light.
But we can say that it was implied. Like all
Yeah, because I mean, if he was to go ahead and take all the information, all the evidence that L had put together, it would have been a longer series, and I don't think they would have wanted to touch that again.
Yeah. But the thing is that I felt like the last 12 episodes, or maybe 11 episodes, were rushed when Nier showed up, and I thought he was just too perfect. And despite L being like the world's greatest detective in the series, he had his hurdles and he had his conundrums, throughout the investigation. But he still was on top, and he was very accurate, like with his assumptions and everything like that.
Yeah, and
I like that, like he wasn't perfect, but he was really good at what he did.
yeah, and the thing with Nier is at the end, especially like the last episode, right?
Right.
You can like kind of see how it all fell into place, kind of like in an Ocean's 11 kind of fashion.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, he was taking a gamble. I mean, yeah, he knew he was taking a gamble, because if he was wrong, they would all die.
Yeah.
And so you could see that in Nier when Light was screaming that they were all dead. He was like, "I won." When Light was saying that I won.
Spoke too soon.
Nier was like, I won, because he just confirmed everything that I was like taking the gamble on. Nier threw all his chips on the table.
Yeah.
On that one assumption that Light would try to kill him.
Yeah.
And so he set things in motion way prior to that.
Yeah.
And if he was wrong, they would all have been dead.
That was all further clarified when Nier had saw that Light's name was not written in Death Note, except everybody else's name was written.
Right.
There was a chance that he fell.
So he was taking L's suspicions on Light, and that's where it all came from.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. I mean, if you haven't seen Death Note, shame on you.
Like, watch it.
Yeah, shame on you for not watching it. For real.
At least watch it before the movie comes out.
If you're not gonna read the manga, watch the anime. I mean, again, it's like one of those must-see animes. Really is.
Psychological thriller, not your typical anime with like the over-exaggerated action. However, there are over-exaggerated moments. Like, I'll take a potato chip and eat it. That's like my favorite moment. Oh man, but still, it's a really good anime. If you love detective stories and psychological mind game stories.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's a very spy versus spy kind of
With a touch of
movie.
supernatural elements.
Yeah, with Shinigamis.
Shinigamis.
And we've seen Shinigamis in other variations like Bleach and stuff like that. And
At least that's in the movie, Shinigami.
yeah, and I that's one thing that I like about Death Note too, is the way they portray Shinigamis in this. They're otherworldly beings who they're not good, they're not bad, right? They're there just to do what they're supposed to do and reap souls or reap people. They're reapers.
They benefit out of everything. They don't choose a side. They gain life expectancy just by taking a life.
Right. Whereas in Bleach you have the Shinigamis, who there is good guys and bad guys. And it's a different take on it. So the Shinigamis in Death Note, they fit in that gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like about this type of anime, because you have your good and you have your bad, and then you have that in between.
Yeah, and the ones that don't care, they're like the lazy ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's Death Note. That's a little bit talk on Death Note there.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little Dragon Ball,
Definitely.
because I know that you watch Super.
Yeah.
What are you most excited to see in the upcoming tournament?
I want to see that female Broly.
You want to see the female Broly?
And also
Brawly. Brawly, what people are calling her.
Yeah, they're calling her Brawly.
Yeah.
But I want to see that one. I also want to see, but what I'm really excited about is like a big splash panel of like all these characters from these multiple universes fighting in this arena where they can't fly and they can't kill or anything like that. I want to see the outcomes. What character will pick what character to fight, that kind of thing. I want to see all that happen.
I mean, I said it before in one video. I'm excited to see Kaba. I like his character.
And Kaba, yeah.
Kaba is an awesome character, and he comes from a different type of Saiyan race, right?
Yeah.
Where they weren't raised as brutal as like Vegeta.
Yeah, not like your typical fighting warrior.
Right, they're not a warrior race. They're a peaceful race.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he met Vegeta where he unlocked his potential, and like I want to see where he's at now.
Yeah.
What has he done since then? Because it's been quite some time. In between and then we had Pan being born. Now we have Bra, and there's so many things that have gone on. So
they can expand upon the Saiyan race actually and make it grow, like make them grow again.
Yeah. So I think it's been like almost 2 years since in Dragon Ball time, since the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, and now we're getting into the Universal tournament.
Yeah.
So that's quite some time to improve on everybody. Another thing too is Gohan. I mean, he's training again.
Thank God.
And the fight that he had in the exhibition match, I thought was pretty damn cool, and I'm glad it ended in a draw.
Yeah.
I would have been okay if Gohan lost. A draw was okay too. I didn't want Gohan to win, and he's my favorite character. And the reason why I didn't want him to win is because if he won, then he wouldn't be as motivated to train.
Exactly. No story there.
Right. You need that motivation.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is like Goku, right? They're putting Goku now. Goku's more like an anti-hero.
Yeah, they changed his character really much. Like, they're breaking the conventions of Goku. He's not... It's like they're blaming Goku for everything that's happened because of his naive attitude and everything like that. One of the contendants are calling him a villain.
Yeah.
And because of the way he is and just not caring about anything else but just fighting just for his, just for himself, everybody else has to chip in and fight for their lives now because it's all his fault.
Yeah, and
he does it for self-admiration.
Right, and that's the other thing too. Goku's character has changed so much.
Yeah, he's very different.
He before he would fight. Yes, he would enjoy fighting a stronger opponent, right? But he would fight for
everyone else.
What's right. Yeah. Now he's doing things because he just wants to fight.
Yeah.
It's like he's reverting back to how the Saiyans are. The Saiyan, like Bardock and all them.
Yeah.
The older generation Saiyans, they love to fight.
Their instincts are is coming in.
So it's creating this different type of Goku. It really is.
Well, the opening theme of Dragon Ball Super now shows like a glimpse of Goku with the evil smirk.
Yeah, well,
Did you see that?
it's not an evil smirk. It's more like a
happy.
yeah. He's like, yeah. Oh man, I'm fighting all these people. I can't wait. Like
turned on.
he's just grinning. Yeah. You know, and the other thing too is like that he mentioned in the exhibition match is that he said that he surpassed his limits again. You didn't catch that? When he was fighting Topo,
Yeah.
and he was like, after he went Kaioken Blue,
Yeah.
he was like, okay, now let me show you what it's like when I go beyond my limits. And everyone was like, what? And then they stopped the match.
Oh, he did it again. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so what is he bringing now that
I'm curious
beyond.
now. I want to see that beyond Super Saiyan
You know?
Blue.
Yeah, what's beyond Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken?
Super Saiyan Blue 2.
No, I don't think so.
Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 100.
Because the thing is, like, the thing about the different transformations, you have Super Saiyan, which takes up a lot of their energy.
Yeah.
So now they don't go Super Saiyan anymore because they have Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue is more of a mastery of their ki, of their energy,
Right.
and that's why they're able to go blue. Especially after the God form. The God form was pretty much the perfect form because it didn't take a lot of ki. It didn't, it's beyond that.
Right.
It made their body slender, so that way they had the speed. They had the power behind everything. So when Goku absorbed that power into him, and he trained it further, it turned into Super Saiyan Blue. What could be beyond that? I mean,
I'm
it's
curious.
really weird to even think of something like that.
Ascended Super Saiyan Blue.
They've already done the whole ascended things. That's the thing. Like, if you look at the trailer, right?
Yeah.
The trailer, he goes Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue, and you see him powering up again, almost like the Kaioken. And then when it shows him, he's base form.
Oh, I see. Oh,
So-
but he's space form, but his hair is spiked up.
No, he's base form. His hair is base form.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like, now does he need to transform to then transform back into base form? Is that what's going on here? Is it,
I feel like an animalistic
you think
instinct is
you think
taking
it's more
over.
of like a rage or
an animalistic
okay.
rage, but like without the transformation of the giant ape.
Okay,
That
yeah,
might be getting
I
in
could
touch
see
with
that.
those roots, where like it's beyond a god.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Where like he's blinded and he goes into this berserk.
Maybe
Maybe
okay,
it's a berserk.
Berserk, like just all he sees is just fighting,
Yeah.
and he doesn't see, like he's no longer thinking about
Nothing.
surroundings.
Nothing really phases him. Like whatever hits him or anything.
That could be pretty dangerous though, like for him, because if that's
And
the
for
case,
everyone else.
yeah, but I mean, when I say for him, because if he's just focused like that, he's not aware of his surroundings anymore,
Right.
then someone can come and just knock him out of the ring now.
Yeah.
Because he can't fly, he can't kill, so it's like, he's
He won't be focused.
yeah, he won't be focused on what he needs to do.
But it'd be powerful.
I'm sure it would be, maybe like a final fight type of deal, but still,
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean
Well, you heard it here first, folks. I'm thinking it's an animalistic. I call it trademark.
And if you're wondering what are we drinking, we're drinking some strawberry daiquiris I made.
I just finished it. It was delicious.
Oh, you finished? See, I'm still drinking mine.
Yeah. I'm not buzzed up.
No, I'm not getting a buzz from this.
Yeah. It's really good.
So, all right, I did a review on One Punch Man.
Yeah.
I know you didn't agree with my rating of One Punch Man because I
Yeah.
rated it at a 7 out of 10.
That's just a tad harsh.
Well, I mean, I told you why, and I said in my video why. It wasn't
But I understand why.
okay because I mean it's. I need more character development in an anime, even in a short anime.
You can only get so much for 12 episodes.
Well, you can still do it.
I know
You can still do it, and I think the only character backstory development was like in the first episode, and that was it.
Yeah.
He goes and fights that monster by himself, kills it, kills it, and then he goes and trains for 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then when Genos asks him, "Oh, what was your training?" and he starts telling him, "I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups," and
You gotta remember the exaggerated face. First do 100 push-ups.
a coworker of mine told me, he's like, "You know what you should do since you shave your head now? You should dress up as Saitama." for Halloween.
1.5.
And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And he's like, you gotta get like the serious face done, you know.
You also have to have, you gotta shave your face, right? But you also have to go buy yourself some red dishwashing gloves.
Yeah, right.
At like, you know, a local store.
I'll run around.
And get a white blanket.
I'll run around my entire job just going.
Get yourself a yellow jumpsuit. Red boots. Bam. One punch. Oh man. And then
That would be awesome.
And then you need to be able to like change your face, you know, like when you do the series.
Yeah.
Get like a shadow.
I gotta work out more because then when I flex, I gotta be like all bulged out like he is when he does it.
And do one of those like scratches. Like,
Yeah, right.
And just watch and read mangas all day.
And go to special sales.
And, oh yeah, and also sleep without AC.
He does that?
Yeah, that was part of his training regimen.
Oh really? I didn't pick that up.
You remember he just slept with AC, without AC. He ate banana. He ate snacks, and banana was one of them.
Yeah.
He also did 100 punches, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run.
And Jim was like, that's just strength training.
Just regular strength training. You're full of crap. Oh my god.
No, I enjoyed One Punch Man. It was good. It was funny because it's always nice to have a comedic action, you know.
And I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 for just the comedic factor and the good animation.
It did have really good animation.
It really did, especially at the end. I loved it.
Well, I mean, the other thing I mentioned in my review for One Punch Man is like you have shows that it's the first season, right? So it's kind of like a pilot season.
Yeah.
So that's why they're kind of shorter. But then you have other shows like, or other animes like Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
Attack on Titan in the first season, it had plenty of character development for all the characters.
It was like 23 episodes.
It was, yeah.
22.
And it was split into different parts too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so it's, shows like that, shows like One Punch Man, shows like Attack on Titan. You know, that's something that for me, I need that character development so I can like the characters. You know, if I don't have them, if I don't have the character development, I can't find myself to actually like the characters.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in video games. You know, in different video games, if there's not like RPGs, especially like I play a lot of RPGs.
Yeah.
In RPGs especially, you have to like the characters. If you don't like the characters, you're not gonna like the game.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
You're investing so much time into it.
Exactly. If you're gonna play a game for like 60 hours, you want to be able to like those characters.
Yeah, that'll keep you playing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like Final Fantasy 13, I hated the characters, so I couldn't get into it. I played it for like 8 hours, and I put it down and never touched it again. I hated the characters. It was so bad. And then when Final Fantasy 15 came out, I couldn't put that game down. I played it non-stop because the characters were so likable.
Yeah.
And 15 was, the reason behind it was only 4 main characters.
Right.
Instead of a large cast, like a lot of RPGs have, it was just 4 characters. And you interacted with all 4 of those characters, interacted the entire game with your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the game was about. It was about bond between friends. And I fell in love with that game. Final Fantasy 15 just blew me away. It really did. The ending, even Dominic. Dominic is my cousin, his stepbrother.
Yeah.
Even Dominic agrees with me. Like the ending of the game, dude, makes you cry from how powerful it is. If you haven't played it, you got a PS4. If you haven't played it, go play it, dude.
I know.
It's not a traditional RPG either. It's like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So it's it's an action RPG kind of deal.
Yeah, in the comments you go like, "What? You just play Final Fantasy 15?"
Well, no, there's a lot of people who haven't.
Yeah,
and that's fine. I mean, I've been waiting. I was waiting for Final Fantasy 15 for 10 years.
Well, growing up, I used to watch him play RPGs. I remember watching him play Final Fantasy 7 and some other games from like the original PlayStation. Things that I was never engrossed into those games. I was just a simplistic gamer, like I played those stupid, silly Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot.
Nothing wrong with those games though. I mean, because they're good games.
Yeah, they're good games, but like I was very simplistic. I didn't challenge myself until I got older, where I started playing RPGs like Bravely Default and some other.
Oh man, that's a good game.
Yeah, I already played Bravely Default.
I haven't finished it.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, so Final Fantasy's like that.